Welcome everybody, and I'd like to start tonight out with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. We're going to start tonight with a roll call of officers.
Supervisor Albrico.
I'm here.
Trustee Mike Kelly is absent. Trustee John Bodisich.
Here.
Trustee Barb Boyce.
Here.
Trustee Mike Lewandowski.
Here.
Collector Dean Morelli.
Here.
Highway Commissioner John Chalinsky.
Here.
Assessor Debbie Mason.
Here.
And we have with us our attorney Gary Mueller and Deputy Clerk Michelle Rudder. And Clerk Romachek is present.
All right, thank you very much. Everybody should have in their packet the minutes of the January 12th regular meeting of the Highway Road and Bridge Fund. I need a motion to pass the minutes. So I got a motion by John Bodisich.
I'll second it.
A second by Barbara Boyce. Does anybody have any questions in the minutes tonight? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. We have the bills of $94,093.87. Need a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make the motion.
I got a motion by Barbara Boyce
I'll second it.
and a second by Mike Lewandowski. Are there any questions of tonight's bills for the Highway Fund? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Albrico.
Yes.
Bodisich.
Yes.
Boyce.
Yes.
Lewandowski.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Selinsky, your report tonight.
Thank you very much. Well, that was exciting last week. With the lack of snowfall so far this year, I think we made up for most of it. I think the Weather Service said that was the third most continuous snowfall in our history or something similar to that. I thought the guys did a great job. We stayed out, with the 5 full-timers and a couple of part-timers plowing and myself. Some of the bigger highway departments with more people have the ability to rotate, so there's somebody out 24 hours. We don't have that, so we went out and we got the roads clear for the Sunday church service rush, and we came back out right before Super Bowl, make sure it was clean if anybody was going to their parties, and then we came back again for rush hour Monday morning. I think the guys did a great job. We got plenty of salt since we haven't used so much. And actually I want to thank the citizens. You know what, this was kind of I don't know if it's just because it was such a big deal with the snowfall, but everybody was cordial. The last thing we want to do is you shovel your driveway out and we have to push it back in the driveway. No one likes doing that, but everybody, a lot of people out on the street and had a lot of nice compliments, and people understood the fact that the snow's got to go somewhere, especially when you have that much. We try to make an effort not to throw it in the driveway, but sometimes we just don't have a choice. So, and it happens to my driveway as well as everybody else's. So, the guys did a great job. As far as the highway department, everything's going well. We're doing all our, winter PM and then building maintenance. So things are going well. We did have a lot of trees down because of the weight of the snow. So just if you see trees on the side of the road, basically what we did was we pushed them off the side of the road, and once we get that snow melted and we can get out there and cut them, we'll cut them up and haul them away, but they're not in any danger of being in the roadway in any way, shape, or form. So great job to my crew, and thanks to all the citizens that were out there with us and waving and being helpful and moving cars for us. That was neat to see. So.
You did a wonderful job. I did see a tree in your yard, the highway department.
Yes, we have a big tree that went down, so firewood.
Yes.
So, thanks to everybody again. I really appreciate it. Appreciate their patience getting the snow off the road.
All right. There's the highway department. This is our last meeting of this fiscal year. I have transfers on here. We have no transfers from the highway department.
You know what, I was going to recess the road and bridge meeting, or have you recess it, and then we'll do our transfers on the 23rd.
All right.
23rd.
Or is it the 24th?
24th.
We'll recess the second. At the end of this meeting, I'll explain what has to happen. Basically, are there any citizens here to address the highway department here tonight? I have you under the town, but this does have to do with the road, so I don't know, you may speak now if you want to.
Thank you, Supervisor Alberico. As many of you know, Will County, a little while back, and with help from Lockport Township, prepared a plan for the Fairmont community. And many of you know the Fairmont community has been primarily an underserved area in Will County and Lockport Township. It's unincorporated. One of the things we've been trying to really do is build some identity in that community, and it's been going very well. What our philosophy has been is we're trying to grab at low-hanging fruit, things that we can do cheap to help build the community up so they have some pride, and hopefully that will kind of snowball, and the community will start to enhance itself and grow. I've seen a lot of the honorary street signs around, and one of the first things I did was I went to your highway commissioner, John, and I asked him, how does that work? He goes, well, Steve, they're actually fairly cheap, but you need to start with our township board. So I called Supervisor Alberico, and I explained to him that I was really interested in doing this. And we talked a little bit, but one of the things that may be a little bit different in this situation is that both of the people are still alive. And Supervisor Alberico informed me that generally we do this when someone has passed away. However, you're more than welcome to have agenda time tonight. So the two people I'm thinking of is, one is Henry Travis, a former county board member, and the other is Percy Conway, a former township trustee. And again, this is to help build identity in the community. And I think there's 4 really good reasons to do it while they're alive. And again, I understand that, you have a protocol in place, and I'm just coming before you making my sales pitch, but the 4 reasons really when we think about identity are that community leaders should be able to see the recognition while they're alive. Again, we're trying to build identity in the Fairmont community, recognizing community leaders and act as an inspiration. The African American community has been traditionally underserved in seeing recognition for its leaders. And lastly, this is African American Cultural History Month. What a better time to really present this for you. So again, I know that past protocol has been, designations have been done after the person has passed away, but I'm asking you to consider doing honorary nominations. One street would be Riley, and then the other I would come before you, which would be close to Mr. Travis's house. So again, I'm before you tonight just seeing where this falls. Thank you.
Mr. Lazar, I thank you for coming. I really do. I think it's a very interesting idea. I haven't had a chance to really discuss it with the board to get their feelings, but I would like them to contemplate it. It's not on the agenda to be voted on tonight, so we can't vote on it. But I will. I'd like to maybe have a workshop on it and get the feeling of the board, and we should put it on the agenda for next month.
That would be fantastic. And what I could do is also show you, I could bring a little map and show you exactly where the streets are, if that's okay.
Which streets you want? All right.
Okay.
We appreciate that.
And again, I want you to understand that we do know that we're asking you to do something different from your protocol, but our role is to try to build identity in the community. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you for coming tonight. We do appreciate that. Do the board members have any comment tonight? Hearing none. Thank you very much. We will put that on the agenda for next month.
Okay. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. That's all I have, I believe, in the road fund. I'd like to call this meeting to a recess until February 23rd at 6 o'clock in the supervisor's office. The reason being, this is the end of our fiscal year, and if there's any other bills that have to be paid by the end of the fiscal year that come in between now and the end of the month, we need to pay it. So we will just have a meeting, open the meeting, pay the bills, and move on. So I call for a recess. Second?
I'll second.
A second. I make the motion. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? recessed until February 23rd at 6 o'clock in the supervisor's office, room 310. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to the general assistance. Everybody in their packet should have received the minutes of the January 12th regular meeting. I need a motion to pass the minutes.
I make that motion.
I got a motion by Barbara Boyce. Second by John Badisich. Are there any questions in tonight's minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. You have the bills of $5,150.91. Need a motion to pay the bills tonight.
So moved.
I have a motion by John Badisich,
I'll second it.
second by Barbara Boyce. Are there any questions for tonight's bills in the general assistance fund? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Alberico?
Yes.
Badisich?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Lewandowski?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. I have no transfers in the general assistance fund this year, as of now. So I will ask for a recess until February 23rd, 2015, at 6 o'clock in the supervisor's office at room 310. I make the motion to recess.
So moved.
That's a 10 conflict. I'm sorry. I make the motion. Do we have a second? John Badisich made a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. That's the general assistance. We will be moving on to the senior agenda. Again, you have the minutes in your packet of the January 12th regular meeting. I need a motion to pass the minutes.
So moved.
A motion by John Badisich,
I'll second it.
second by Barbara Boyce. Any questions of tonight's minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, minutes pass. We need approval of the bills of $17,775.25.
Make a motion approved.
And a motion by John Badisich,
I'll second it.
and a second by Barbara Boyce. Any questions of tonight's bills? Hearing none, I need a roll call, please.
Alberico?
Yes.
Badisich?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Lewandowski?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. We have no transfers of funds. I ask for a recess until February 23rd, 2015 at 6 o'clock in the supervisor's office, room 310.
I'll second it.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. All right, now we get down to the town fund. I have the minutes. Everybody should have received the minutes in their packet.
I'll make a motion.
We have a
Accept the
motion
minutes.
by John Badisich to accept the minutes.
I'll second.
I got a second by Barbara Boyce. Anybody have any questions of tonight's minutes? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. The bills of $119,504.60. Can I have a motion to pay the bills today?
I'll make that motion.
I got a motion by Barbara Boyce,
Second.
second by John Badisich. Any questions of tonight's bills? Hearing none, can I have a roll call, please?
Alberico?
Yes.
Badisich?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Lewandowski?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. We'll move on to the assessor's report.
The only thing I have tonight is my handout.
All right. Okay, moving on, we have a request from your office for a registration of a class for B. Mason and M. Williamson in Bloomington.
They actually don't have to go on the agenda. Those are already approved in your bills. They approved the amount in the bills.
Okay, but I think we do usually vote on this.
Not on classes, just for per diem. Do we, Gary?
I think we've done per diem before. I don't recall something doing this.
All right, I know you're requesting that. You're requesting for a class for
For our continuing education.
continuing education.
Right.
What's in Flowers also? Okay. Well, it shouldn't be on the, if we don't need approval, I guess we
I don't know, because I already said it didn't have to be on the agenda.
Right.
I'm not sure how it got there.
Clerk's report.
I am requesting a workshop for myself, and I believe at the bottom you're going to be requesting this also. On March 20th, 2015 in Naperville, a TOI workshop that I would like to attend. So
All
I'm
right, you're asking
requesting
for
registration for that.
registration. I would like to make the motion.
Now, is that in the same category as what yours would be in, as far as the?
Mine are classes.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Got a motion by John Bodisich. I'm a little confused because they're both classes. This is a class also.
I think the main difference, I believe, would be for the assessor's office. In order for them to be able to conduct business in the assessor's office, those are classes that they have to have or else they're not certified. As opposed to these, which are requests as furthering education classes for elected officials and township trustees. You could still serve as a township trustee or as an elected official, even if you didn't go to these. So these are more trying to expound upon the knowledge you already have, whereas the other ones are without that, she can't do what she does.
All right, well, that being said, I have a motion by John Bodisich,
I'll second it.
second by Barbara Boyce. Can I have a roll call, please?
Alberico,
Yes.
Bodisich.
Yes.
Boyce.
Yes.
Lewandowski.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Did you have a report?
I do. We once again have an election coming up in April. So April 7th, 2015 is a consolidated election. And this election, you will be voting for members of school board, library board, park board, fire district board, city of Lockport, and Cresto aldermen, and village of Romeoville trustees. So I encourage everybody to get out and vote, and the clerk's office will have early voting starting Monday, March 23rd through Thursday, April 2nd, and the office hours are 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We will have one Saturday office hour, and that will be from 9 a.m. to 12 noon on March 28th. Clerk's office will be closed on Good Friday, so there will be no early voting conducted in the clerk's office. Absentee ballots and grace period voting, you can do that at the county clerk's office. You can call them at 815-740-4632. And I also want to mention that the township annual town meeting will be held on Tuesday, April 14th at 6:30 p.m. here at Central Square Boardroom. If you want to be on the agenda for that, you do have to have your request into the clerk's office by March 1st. So anybody wishing to be on the agenda needs to do that. Also, as all of you know, February is Heart Month. So I'm just putting a little shout out there as Go Red for Women, just an awareness for women for their hearts to get checked, their screenings. You can call your hospitals to find out when the screenings are. So just a little, FYI for everybody out there. Of course, it's good for men too, but Go Red, men's health is important too. But this is Go Red for Women, so, okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any trustees' comments or suggestions tonight?
I have a couple. When I was going through the packet, sometimes it gets a little confusing as far as our employees that we have in the different departments of the township.
All right.
So what I would like to see, one is where names are listed of employees, we usually start with an initial and just a last name. It would be nice to see a full first name so that we kind of know who it is. I mean, there might be some people on this board that recognize last names, but don't even know who their first names are. And also, what I'd like to see is that when going through this, is that if there's a way when we get to salaries, payroll counts of who is working in which department. There's some names here that I don't know if they're in a clerk's office or a supervisor's office or Debbie's office.
They are listed in, we have that sheet right in front of you when we're looking at it.
By a code?
Yes, by number.
By number.
001.
By the line item number, when we prove our budgets, they're all in the line item numbers, and it kind of gives you which department they're working under.
Is there a way of simplifying it a little bit, or?
I'll have the payroll secretary try to put that together for us, so everybody can tell exactly who's working where. And I guess I'm so used to the employees, I know where they're working, and I see them under their each individual line item. So.
Right. And I know, like, you see it in the highway department, and I guess all I'm asking there, John, is a first name.
Yes.
You know, in at Debbie's office, you see, the names, but it'd be nice to have them all kind of the same way if possible.
All right, I will bring that to the payroll office and the bookkeeper, see if we can get that put in, right? So I think, most people are named for the first initial.
I guess it depends on what sheet you're
Right.
referring to.
And I think I'm looking at the main one here.
The town-
Under our salaries and payroll count, we can all see that, but still without line up those the numbers, it'd be nice to see them in the different categories.
So you're talking about the budget sheets.
Right.
You'd like to see it also.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if I can get that put in there for you. All right, any other comments or? Hearing none. Let's see what we're at here. Central Square report. I really didn't, nothing's too much going on right now. We're changing from, we did give notice to the cleaning company that we hired. We hired them for a month. Realized that there were some issues with closing up the building at night and with the Park District using the gym, people getting into the building. We like the idea of having a part-time employee here at night. So we're going to go back to having an employee here and get rid of the cleaning service and have them do the cleaning like we used to. It turns out to be financially about the same. Instead of having one full-time, we're going to go with two part-time. That way there's no IMRF or pension plans or anything involved with that. So it'll be about the same as the cleaning service. I think it's going to work out better. This office this boardroom won't be cold when we get here. There'll be somebody in the maintenance to be able to turn on the heat. So that's about what we're doing with that. Other than that, I have nothing in the Central Square. Going on to new business, the town fund does have one transfer, the amount of $750 from the account number 0046990, which is contingency, to the account number 0045998, which is miscellaneous community programs. We went a little bit over on that one. The reason being, when we had CASA come out and talk to us, we had a line item, or we had money put in that line item for $1,000 for that organization. And it was the board's feeling that they really liked that organization and went with $2,000, which made us go over on our line item a little bit, but we had that contingency line items for us. So. CASA is a very good organization. I think they deserve the money. So we need a motion to transfer the amount of $750.
I'll make that motion.
Barbara Boyce,
I'll second it.
second by Mike Lewandowski. Can I have a roll call, please?
Alberico?
Yes.
Bodicich?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Lewandowski?
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Thank you very much. I'm going to also ask for request for registration for classes for myself and the 4 trustees. Should they decide to go, I will only get registration for the ones that want to go, obviously, for the March 20th, April 15th in Naperville. It's an educational class. Can I have that motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Barbara Boyce,
Second.
second by John Bodicich. Have a roll call, please.
Alberico?
Yes.
Bodicich?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Lewandowski?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. This to our next topic. I need approval for the Dewberry Agreement for Professional Services. I sent it in your packet for your review. I've gone over it with our attorney. There are some questions I would like basically tonight, so there's no anything to slow down the progress of our architectural ideas of working on this building. To give me permission tonight to sign this contract when the questions are answered by the attorney and myself, when we feel comfortable. The attorney did contact Dewberry, and they haven't responded yet, so as soon as they respond and we get things worked out, I want to be able to sign the contract and set it on its way. So I'm asking for approval to start the process going.
I have a question.
All right.
Have we secured property?
No, yeah. That seems to be one of the failing points right now.
Do we have a timeline when we will secure the property?
Talked to the Park District. I sent them a letter requesting our request for the amount of money for the lease. I did finally got a response this afternoon from a letter, basically saying that they want to work with us. They're all working real hard, but I sent a letter with the attitude of, at the time, I was told they weren't interested in putting a gym on the building. That's what they had indicated to me. By a few people told me they weren't ready at this time to put the gym on that side of the river. They prefer to do it on the east side of the river right now first, because they felt it was more in the community and people could ride their bikes to it and the kids would be better off there. So they indicated to me to go ahead and work towards not putting the gym on the building. Well, today's letter said that no, they still want that gym on there. So that puts it back into, I've got to figure out what the costs are going to be for that, because I got a preliminary cost for the building without the gym on it. And now I have to start over. Every time I start moving in one direction, it changes direction. So I'm a little frustrated. I will talk to the Park District tomorrow and see which direction they want me to go.
What kind of jeopardy would it put ourselves in if we tabled this till the next meeting?
Well, if everything gets cleared up, we don't have anybody working on this contract and on the architectural side until we pass it.
In this contract, it stated that they went on property and that the property got destroyed, that they weren't responsible for fixing it. I guess without property, how they know where to go to look at the on-site project. And if we just assume that it might be an area we're looking at, and they do drive vehicles out there and ruin that property and it doesn't end up being our site, we're held accountable, if I'm correct.
The way the original proposal was, another question though that Mr. Alberico had asked, they had, as you may recall, the original proposal, the first part of it had a number of bullet points, about 7 or 8 of them, I believe. 5 of those had to do with the site. So some of Trustee Lewandowski is asking, I had asked Mr. Alberico, well, if you don't have those 5, is that detrimental to you, Dewberry, moving forward with the pre-design phase? They said, yeah, we need to know whether it's going to be this type of site or this or the other type of site, basically from a standpoint of what does the topography look like.
I think the sites that Mr. Alrico has been discussing with them, though, there's not that, those two sites aren't that disparate when you just drive down the street. So I don't know if that really, at the end of the day, will make a bullet bill means difference, but that was one of the main questions that Mr. Alrico and I asked Dewberry, what do you want to do about that part? Another question that we asked him about was in their proposal, they talked about having a service fee of additional 10% out of pocket. Well, that might be normally typical for some of their clients. What I tried to stress to them was, this is the township, you don't pay those fees to pay out of pocket, but we're not going to pay you additional 10% on top of that. Rather work with us or you work with us. And the final one was simply that type of question about liabilities. I'm sorry, that was the third question. The final question was, I felt that if the township pays for this pre-designed plan, it should be then owned by the township. The standard document that Dewberry, pretty much any other architect I've ever worked with, says that once they do it, it's theirs. As I mentioned, Mr. Alrico, every single paragraph of this agreement has been the result of some litigation somewhere. So that's just the basic. That's one of the ones where if we pay for it, it should be ours.
And their answer to the 10% was?
They're still getting back to me on the 10%. They're getting back to me on do we own it if we pay for it? And they're getting back to us on we understand that there may be some liability. And I guess this board, if we approved their proposal, we would understand what we think the kind of damage might be. But we wouldn't encourage them, for example, if there's a major thaw this weekend, to take big honking trucks over and start driving around on the Park District property. That's what we want to avoid. We understand that if they were to go drive it now, there is quote unquote damage and that there'll be a rut there. But the Park District isn't going to be upset with us on that type of a rut. What we really want to avoid is trashing it, start digging a whole lot of holes without telling them what's going on. And those are the things, though, I'm still waiting for a response from Dewberry.
So can this be approved with stipulations on basically the conversations that you had with them today?
I believe you could, especially because the only person who's going to sign the strawberry code tonight. However, he comes, he's going to sign it, it doesn't mean that what you guys want.
So we're putting the cars in front of the horse again. I don't know what that is.
The last comment is if we put that stipulation on there, but the supervisor can sign it if he believes that it falls within the parameters of either his opinion or your opinion or the trustee's opinion. I don't want to put it all on one guy,
Understood. It would be under the guys that Mr. Alrico would understand what the board would want and the issues that you guys would want, and then he would take that when he decides whether to sign it or not. And it has very little to do with it. I've already expressed Mr. Alrico the concerns that I had with the proposal, and he agreed with them, I believe, and then we represented those to Dewberry and said, guys, what do you want to do about it?
Thing is, I'm trying to get this project moving along. We have an April 14th town meeting that we're going to be asking the question again. And if we're not set with answers, then we're back to where we were the last special town meeting. The answers to those questions that they want. And I can't come up with the answers without an architectural firm giving it to me. I've already got the preliminary costs and space needs.
Do they need to know where the land is in order for some of those questions to be asked? We narrow it down to one or two, but Dewberry say the building's going to be X amount of square foot, amount of money, the traffic studies, I believe that at that past meeting that they were asking for. Can't that be done even if this is delayed another?
Well, they're not going to do all of that work for free. They need, and that's what this contract is doing. It's giving us a not to exceed amount for them to do some preliminary work for this project.
I understand, yeah, I understand that.
When will we hear from the markers?
We received that letter this morning, I will, this afternoon, late this afternoon, I will call them tomorrow and find out what Sue feels the feeling is. I mean, if they want to go with the gym, then I will start the conversation as to how it's going to get paid for, how it's going to work, and who's paying for what, and how, you know.
I think really what this money here is that it's there to answer the questions of
The electors.
the electorate.
They asked us at that annual town meeting, a special
Right.
town meeting.
So does the land really come into play that much?
Well,
Maybe not.
maybe,
No.
you know, I want to get everything down, that's why I want to get this contract going. So I can get the answers to questions for April 14th.
The one thing with what I read, two things. One was minor, Crest Hill Village, City of Crest Hill will be nice down here. And the other one was a fee arrangement that says not to exceed a limit of $10,500. So right next to it, it says $10,000. So, you know, I'll go for $10,000.
Right, it's not to exceed 10,000.
But you see where it's written out?
Yes.
Yeah, 10,500, you said 2,000.
Right.
I will get that straightened out before I sign it. It'll be at 10,000.
Can we vote yes on this contingent on securing the property? But if we don't secure the property, then this is null and void? Just a question.
We can do whatever we want, I guess, but I don't think that would be I want to get the question asked of me at the town meeting answered. And on April 14th, I have someone there, I want Dewberry there saying, this is what we got built, this is what we're going to build, this is the size of the building, this is what it's going to tentatively look like, and they're not going to do that unless we have this contract signed. If I don't sign that, if I wait and table it until next month, that's March 8th, March 9th, they'll only give us a month. There's a lot of, and if we don't ask the electors on April 14th, we can arrange another special town meeting, or we can wait another year. I don't know if anybody's really has the appetite for that. I know I've been working on this project for a year now.
I guess we have to figure out if we're doing what's right, the electors wanted that night.
There's
$10,000, and actually I thought it would be more, but,
That's my feeling.
You know.
$10,000, we should get this thing.
and if the land, if Marcus falls through, we'll be shopping for other land, and by April, we should have something for electors by then also.
May I ask a question? So these bullet points are really, they would only be working on the first two. Is that correct? Because there's not a site secured yet?
We can get the site secured, they'll work on all of them.
No, I know, as of now, as of today.
Bullet points, I'll be doing the pre-design work for the building. Yes.
If I may, what I could see happening based on the discussion I had with you here, is that you may have most of what you, the board, had hoped to achieve through the pre-design proposal. I don't know that you would end up with a picture. Just because that, I think, is what's really specific to the site. Because then you're going to know whether you're going to have a walk out the back, for example. At least the sites that I've heard about, I don't see us having a walk out the back, and I don't think the topography would warrant that, at least in the sites that I've seen. So right now, that, I think, based upon that proposal, that's what you're more likely than not to not have on April 14th. You may not have that picture that you could tell everybody,
This is exactly.
here's the picture, and that's, if you could picture that at that site, that's what it's gonna look like. That you're not gonna have. You may have just a proposal that says it's X numbers of square feet, which I think you're gonna be able to do. You'll be able to say, here's the amount of money it's gonna cost you, based upon what the survey has already done, based on what Dewberry has, you're gonna have that as well. You're gonna be able to have a report, I believe, from our accountant that's going to say, here's how much it costs, here's how much you saved, here's how much you have, therefore here's how much is left over, or whatever. You'll have all of that information, all of which are specific questions. That's why the electors are this question.
Financial company tell us where we get the rest of the money.
And as I said, the one thing I think you may not have, which all of us, I think, all of you probably would prefer to be able to do, is you may not have that picture. Because you may not get to the point where you know exactly what it's going to cost.
I'll make a motion to approve, as long as we make the corrections and the typos of the city of Crest Hill and the $10,000.
Great. I got a motion. Jan Badisich.
I'll second it.
Barbara Boyce. Where's the state now? First, I'll make sure it's in
Third floor, point down. Just press the
Good night, talk about that.
I got a motion by Jan Badisich, second by Barbara Boyce. Can I have a roll call, please?
Rico,
Yes.
Badisich,
Yes.
Boyce,
Yes.
Lewandowski.
Yes.
The motion carries. Thank you very much.
Ron,
Yes.
some of those other questions that the records were asking, as far as, I think someone made it to the land use department and road surveys and traffic studies. I believe someone from the land use department was here, so they could give you that information and do that study. I think we should, look into that also, so it's not forgotten.
I will
Very
try to
important.
get that land use to look at that corner, but it's understanding what I've had a couple of conversations with Dewberry, that the amount of cars that we're going to increase at that intersection, we shouldn't really want.
I agree.
Unless we have what? 10 employees that drive in there. And on any given day, we have about, well, I know sometimes during tax time, a lot of seniors come, but a lot of times we have 10 or 15 cars, people come to our office. It's not going to increase the traffic. The only time that will increase the traffic, and the times we'll have traffic coming in there will be during business hours, Monday through Friday, not when the park district is doing their baseball tournaments and their soccer tournaments, and when most of the cars are coming in. So it's Dewberry's belief, my belief, that we may not have to worry about that. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't investigate it, and it should. Okay.
Supervisor Over, if I may add, I think the electors also wanted to know about the grants, any grant monies.
Again, the grants, we had a $50,000 grant offered through the state of Illinois. Of course, with the new change in governor, everything's on standstill right now. I did get a letter stating that the Foster's office will help us with any kind of competitive grant that we might come up with, but they will not give us, they're unable to give us non-competitive grants.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions about the building? Maybe none. Old business, other business I wanted to bring up. I did receive a letter, I believe everybody got it, in the packet from the Army Corps of Engineers about the Lockport Tool, Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal. They are going to be doing work basically along the canals, maybe the east side, I believe, of the canal, restructuring the wall that we're going through. That's why Lockport, I believe, has to rebuild a bridge or do some work on a bridge. But because it's in Lockport Township, they did send us the letter and basically the resolutions that they're going to be working on that. very interesting story though. It gives a lot of history. I also did sign a memorandum of understanding with the Will County Community Concerns between us and them. The memorandum of understanding basically states that they can use my office every other Wednesday, second and fourth Wednesday of the month. They use my office as an outreach for the Lockport Township citizens to come and do their Part D of Medicare program. It's an outreach for them. They've been using our office for as long as I've been supervising, I believe. Years before that, it was just for their grant purposes. They had to have this memorandum of understanding between us, so I just want to bring that to your attention that we did sign that. We will be using my office. Other than that, I did get a letter for a postcard from, it says Julie on it, but basically it's from NIGAS. It's a reminder for people to stay alert for this time of year. With furnaces running all the time, we don't want to make sure that you don't blow up anybody's house. If anybody gets their house blown up, make sure you understand the conditions. Look, if you see bubbling dirt or continuing bubbling water, that means there may be a gas leak. And the smell of rotten eggs, they put that in the natural gas on purpose. So if you smell the natural gas, don't call 911 right there when you smell it. Get away from the situation because any sparks can ignite the natural gas. Get away. Then call 911 or NICOR. Just be safe out there. I don't want to see anybody have any problems. The only other thing I wanted to bring up is Silver and Gold Club in the Lockport Township Park District, which is in the Fairmont area. It's having their annual Black History event. It's going to be Saturday, February 14th, which is also Valentine's Day. It'll be at the Fairmont Community Center at 525 Berry Avenue from 1 until 3 in the afternoon. Everybody's invited. It should be a very good program. I think you're going to have food there, and hope everybody can make it. It'll be a nice way to spend the first part of your Valentine's Day before you take your significant other out for dinner. Other than that, I have nothing else for tonight. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I hope everybody does have a wonderful Valentine's Day and a wonderful February. It's starting to get through the worst part of the year. We're starting to see the sun staying up a little longer each day. So everybody, I'd like to thank you for watching tonight. Thank you very much. I call for a motion to adjourn.
So, second.
Excuse me, no, you're not going to adjourn, you're going to recess.
I'm sorry. I did get everyone right except.
That's okay.
I'd like to recess this meeting until February 23rd, 2015, 6 o'clock in the PM in the supervisor's office at room 310. I need a motion to recess.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Barbara Boyce, second by Mike Lewandowski. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much, and everybody have a wonderful evening. Thank you.